Most, if not every single woman you encounter will never ask you, am I good enough for you? Most of them ask, are you good enough for me? Gentlemen, it is very rare to find a woman who is more concerned with how she treats you than a woman who obsesses over how you treat her. She checks her own behavior before she audits yours. She asks questions like, was I fair to him? Did I support him today? Did I bring him peace or pressure? Did I respect the man I chose? Ended up going very well for him because it's what I always say, men win in the end. Because losing a girl who seemed perfect doesn't mean you fail. It means you simply missed the signs that
she belongs to the streets.
Your eyes saw beauty, chemistry, and potential. But if you had experience, you would have seen patterns, characteristics, and consequences. You were focused on how she made you feel, but your instincts would have focused on who she'd have made you become. And there is a huge difference. Gentlemen, most people enter your life not to stay, but to expose what you would tolerate. So the lesson ends up being a gift. You called it love. Your experience would have called it a detour. Because if she left, it's because staying would have cost you your peace, your purpose, and possibly your future. Loss is sometimes protection in disguise, gentlemen. What hurts now would have destroyed you later. Your experience cuts early to spare you the deeper wounds. And remember, you mourned the woman you imagined, not the reality that would have unfolded. Because every fantasy looks perfect before time exposes it. Your experience won't remove people to punish you. It removes them when they are no longer aligned with who you're becoming. If you lost someone who felt perfect, you need to thank your experience. Because your experience saved you from a future you are not meant to survive. Think that's a bit hyperbolic? Think of how many stories you've heard or seen where men hit rock bottom, get their lives completely destroyed, or even take their own lives because they've been zeroed out by an unscrupulous spouse. Yeah, that's what I thought. But you don't have to learn the hard way like they did. Save yourself a world of hurt and head to datingwisdom.net. Monk mode, and it's effective for a reason. Because somewhere out there is a man who has no woman, no girlfriend, no situationships, no side chicks, no sneaky links, no nothing. Just silence. No calls, no texts, no good morning handsome dopamine hits. It's just him and the weight of his own life. Most men can't handle that. Most men need distraction. Most men need validation. Most men need some sort of noise to feel alive. But what most men do not understand is that this is the hardest path. Self-respect over attention. See, gentlemen, monk mode guy knows a weak man with women is still a weak man. He's in the gym when it's boring. He's working when it's lonely. He's learning when nobody applauds. And he's building when nobody's watching. No audience, no praise, no outside validation. He is ignoring cravings rather than chasing that instant gratification. He is building discipline, not just flirting with it for comfort. He's stacking days and money like bricks. This guy isn't unloved. He's just under construction. And construction requires isolation. This man is fixing his body, his mind, his money, and most of all, his standards. Because he knows exactly what comes next. Most men chase women to feel powerful, but this man becomes powerful so he never has to chase women again. So while you're out here trying to get chosen, he's becoming the man who chooses. Again, no girlfriend, no situationships, no side chicks, no sneaky links, no nothing. Just a future that you can't compete with. So if you're at a point in your life where you're ready to hit that reset button, monk mode is the only way to do it. And the good news is that it does not matter what your age is. It was something I noticed in my dealings with women, and most men don't even realize it's happening. But if you sit down and really think about it, you'll realize this is true. Most, if not every single woman you encounter will never ask you, am I good enough for you? Most of them ask, are you good enough for me? Gentlemen, it is very rare to find a woman who is more concerned with how she treats you than a woman who obsesses over how you treat her. And this is one of the main differences between women who are recreational use only and women of potential quality. You see, most women value relationships through one lens. How does he make me feel today? Every word, every text, every phrase, every scene with no reply, everything you do is scrutinized. And when it doesn't hit exactly the way she wants, it turns into this overly complicated review session. Simple conversations become complex negotiations. Minor arguments become feedback. And eventually, your relationship becomes a job. You're expected to adjust, explain, improve, and perform, all while she remains the judge, the jury, and the executioner. This is not a relationship, gentlemen. This is management. And this is where men get trapped. Instead of women asking themselves, how can I be the best woman for this man? She asks, how can I reshape this man to suit me? And when she starts asking herself this question, your relationship then becomes her little renovation project. And women do not respect men they they feel like they have to change. And what ends up happening from here is that she hijacks your emotional bandwidth. Her feelings, her interpretations, her triggers, her needs, her tone, her energy, her vibe, all of this becomes the de facto customer service for her emotions. And most men feel this while most women deny it. But here is what almost nobody talks about. A woman who genuinely loves you does quite literally the opposite. She watches herself. She checks her own behavior before she audits yours. She asks questions like, was I fair to him? Did I support him today? Did I bring him peace or pressure? Did I respect the man I chose? Guys, these aren't women. They're a different damn species. And this species doesn't center the relationship on her moods. Instead, she centers it on the bond she made and the man inside it. She isn't looking for reasons to be offended or disobey. Instead, she looks for ways to be solid, supportive, and obedient to her man. And this is why women like this feel so rare to men like us. It's because she's not trying to control you. She's not trying to change you. She's trying to deserve you. She gives more than she takes. She adjusts before she demands. She communicates without turning you into the villain. And she respects the relationship instead of consuming it. Ladies, this isn't weakness. This is maturity. And the truly sad thing is that most men have never experienced this. This is so rare, in fact, that when it actually shows up, it almost feels fake. They think to themselves, there is no way she's this calm. There is no way she's this accountable. And there is just no way she's really this consistent. And I don't blame men like this, because if all you've seen is drama, genuine peace and submission looks and feels suspicious. However, you do need to know what it looks like, because life just might put that woman in front of you maybe once, if you're lucky. And if you fumble her because you're used to fighting, manipulation, gaslighting, and constant toxicity, you will spend years trying to replace what you didn't recognize. So here's a quick lesson on how to tell the difference. If she is more invested in your well-being than in policing your behavior, she might be worth taking seriously. If she holds herself to standards instead of only holding you to standards, she might be worth keeping around. If she brings you peace without making you feel like you have to ask or demand it from her, she might be a quality woman. These behaviors aren't just attraction. It's a potential relationship worth pursuing. And if you want to learn more about the difference between the kinds of women you use for fun and the kinds of women worth building with, get your ass over to datingwisdom.net. Exactly why I tell you guys that women never mean it when they apologize for disrespectful behavior. She knew what she was doing, and she knew it would affect you, but she did it anyway. It's not a mistake, gentlemen. That's a choice. Honest mistakes are blind. This was calculated. She watched your reactions, she read your messages, she felt the shift, and still she continued. Because when a woman truly respects you, she avoids what hurts you. But when a woman does not respect you, she will justify it. And as men, we just love to rewrite reality, don't we? She didn't mean it. She didn't know. It wasn't like that. Nah, player, she knew. She meant it. And trust me when I tell you, it was exactly like that. She wasn't confused. She wasn't innocent. She wasn't unaware. She was comfortable risking you. And here's the cold, brutal truth that most men can barely stomach hearing. Women will only gamble with you when they believe that you will stay. So don't argue, don't beg, and don't explain. Instead, let the consequences speak in a language she understands. That disrespect wasn't the action. It was the decision. And that decision was, I'm okay losing you. Again, she knew it would affect you, but she did it anyway. Never forget that. Because once you forget, you become that much easier to disrespect. And if you want to avoid that kind of disrespect, head on over to datingwisdom.net.